In Turkey is no different than any other place. I don't think people in Turkey are greedier than anywhere else. I don't think people in Turkey are greedier than anywhere else. Turkey is catching up with the rest of the world. Retail businesses will have fewer locations. Landlords, which have commercial real estate, they start jacking up prices. I hear this kind of conversation in every country I went to, and I went to many countries. In Europe, in North America, in South America, Asia, everywhere, there is a group of people who will talk about failed state. If you want, check it out. Go to the taxi and take taxi and say something like that. Oh man, this government is awful. They doing, etc., etc. And the cab driver usually will pick up the conversation and will start rolling around this issue of government not doing the right thing. In Turkey is no different than any other places. Once in a while I touched it before, but today I want to expand a little bit more and explain what I mean. I'm Vas, welcome to my channel. Remember to subscribe, leave some comments, ask some questions. If you have frustration, go ahead and put it all in a commentary. I'll read it, it's interesting to me. I actually read several comments where people were saying that in Turkey people are greedy. Honestly saying, I don't think people in Turkey are greedier than anywhere else. There is a new term, which I like the term. I don't necessarily like what people apply it to, where it is greedflation instead of inflation. I will not argue with the economist. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Most of us have self-interest and we are trying to maximize our profit. Anywhere you go, it will be the same thing. What's happening in Turkey right now, the way I see it, that Turkey is catching up with the rest of the world. And some people, even though they want to be like the rest of the world, they want to live in Europe, they want to live in North America, they don't realize that a lot of bad things, a lot of uncomfortable things will come with that. First of all, what's happening right now in Turkey, that smaller businesses will be closing retail locations. There will be fewer of them. In fact, if you live in Turkey, it doesn't matter what city you live in Turkey, you will see that post offices will have fewer locations, other retail businesses will have fewer locations, and people will be hurt because there is a transformation right now in the economy. It's been happening in the Western society already for several years. What's happening is that lots of business going online. They're selling online. And in Turkey, it's going to be like everywhere else. Locations will be open. Some people will try to raise the prices to push their renters out. And for a little while, it'll work. But soon what they will discover, as they discovered right now in the Western societies, there are going to be a lot of vacant spaces. And those vacant spaces most likely will be taken by bars, coffee shops, and other places which cannot really sell online because you cannot pour alcohol or coffee online. It just doesn't work. And also commercial real estate will be vacant, and first push will be higher rents, and then those rents will come down because nobody will want to take them. And that doesn't happen only in the cities. What we see is in the villages you will have the same problem. And in Turkey the unemployment is pretty high, and the government is trying to employ people through tourist locations, and it's not very easy to resolve. In the Western society, in Europe, in North America, in other countries in Asia, the agriculture became very productive. It doesn't need as many people in agriculture, machines doing the work. In China, it's incredible. It's robotic pretty much operation. So they have to find where to use people, and Turkey will be looking where to use those people, because those people will not be able to earn living unless they change, they find different types of activity. And that's what people call greedflation right now, that some of the landlords which have commercial real estate, they start jacking up prices. And while they're jacking up prices, some renters will move out, other renters will raise the prices because they have to pay that landlord. It is happening actually in residential real estate right now too. The renters paying pretty high rent, and people are asking for that, particularly in places such as Antalya, because it has some jobs and people from other locations of Turkey moving in, and people can raise the rent and they can ask for higher rent even long term. Is just how it is. The government is reporting that inflation is slowing down. In August, inflation was a little bit easier than it was in July. Whether you believe it or not, it's your personal business, but that's exactly what government says. And to some extent, it's probably true. See, inflation is not something happening everywhere. It's usually driven by something, maybe by rent, maybe by cost of goods, maybe cost of material, all sorts of things. For instance, right now, building real estate in Turkey is expensive because the material pretty much triple or quadruple in cost. And for that reason, prices of real estate unlikely to come down very far. They will come down a little bit, but not very far, and not in all locations. That's just the nature of the beast. By my sources, I know that real estate starts selling again. And who is buying real estate? Those are the Turkish citizens who live abroad, mostly in Europe. They come to Turkey and they buy. They do buy it at big discounts sometimes and sometimes not, because some of the real estate is not selling at big discounts. But real estate starts selling again. I think the prices came to parity right now. And if you have interest to buy real estate, perhaps it's not a bad time, because going further, I think prices will start again climbing up. And the reason for that is, first of all, people who have money come from Europe, Turkish citizens, they're buying it. And second of all, building real estate is expensive. So I actually have subscribers writing to me and talking to me, and they're saying that they observe a lot of real estate right now built, and the government, by raising the requirement for residency to $200,000, is forcing people to buy higher, more expensive real estate. As a strategy, perhaps that's true. In fact, I would support that kind of argument. That is probably true. That way you have people who are not citizens of Turkey come and they buy real estate where you don't really have many Turkish citizens compete. Turkish citizens go for a little bit lower real estate, and that real estate is not of much interest to foreigners. It is also not much interest to speculation anymore, because you cannot sell to foreigners, and local citizens, they are pretty much rooted in that particular area. They know what real estate is about, what the prices are, what are the customs. In many different locations in Turkey, there are a little bit of a different traditions how real estate is sold. For instance, right now, I mentioned very little about it before, there is a city of Mersin, and recently the airport was opened there. The government strategically is trying to make it as a second center for tourism, and perhaps with a little time it will work. For now, it is still pretty fair. You can buy some real estate there quite inexpensively. Personally, it's not as picturesque as Antalya with the mountains, with few other sites. Mersin is a little bit more flat, but you can find on my channel, I was talking to one of the Canadian citizens who became Turkish citizen who moved to Mersin, and she's happily living over there. That's my point of view. The other thing which I wanted to mention, and I'm returning back to the very first subject which I raised, that is that, look, people in the government have a hard job. And people in the government, in most cases, they do have self-interest, but on the other hand, there are quite a few people who are trying to make better world for the rest of the population. They're trying to make themselves a name for being good mayor or good governor or good minister, etc. Very few of them come to government with some really self-interested intention. Of course, they will probably become a little bit more corrupt. We can use that word, or we can say they will become a little bit more accustomed to having power and doing a few favors here and there. It will happen with anyone, even with those people who claim right now that Turkey is a failed state, and those are the people often live at their parents' house. In fact, I met quite a few young people who live in their parents' house. They're students, and they just recently graduated. They cannot find a job, so for that reason, Turkey is a failed state, just because they cannot find a job. And honestly saying, that happens everywhere. If you go to Europe, if you go to North America, it is exactly the same thing. Any country you go to, if personal life of a particular citizen is not arranged well, if he is frustrated, disgruntled with his personal life, then the government is wrong and the state has failed. That is the thought which I want to leave you with. I'm Vas, welcome to my channel again. Leave some comments and likes. Good luck.